Hey, welcome back to run vid number 2 of the TRX4 Neagative-G build running Duratrax Fossil tires. Do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll subscribe back if you have content on your channel. Good way to get a subscriber onto your channel. And leave a comment. Anyways, we're just kind of doing a running test on these tires over different types of terrains. I'll do several videos with them, and then I'll move on to the next tire. I'm going to try to do the same types of terrains with all tires that I test, and come up with an opinion for the tires that I have. I have these Duratrax Fossils. I got the set of Traxxas Canyons cut. I got a set of what are they? J Concept poles. Got a set of J Concepts landmines. I got my Proline Crawler TAs, which I know quite well. I have my Duratrax Showdowns, which I know quite well. And I thought there was another set. Basically, that's it. I would like to get some Duratrax, not the Showdowns, but the other ones, the Deep Woods, eventually. And I'd like to get some of those new, either the Proline or the RC Four-Wheel Drive Pro X tires. Those would be pretty cool to throw in the mix. I doubt they would do good in the wet, slippery rocks, but maybe down the road I can add those in too. Anyways, I'm gonna have a bunch of vids coming up out of this area up here. I'll probably start coming up here. There's so much crawling up in this area. That'll probably just start coming up here. You know, it's an hour drive up there, but it's worth it. As summer starts to get closer, this lake's going to fill up, so a lot of this stuff along the shoreline is going to disappear, but there's still a ton of crawling in the area. The lake is up quite a bit from what it was when I was back in here back around December and January. I think they start draining it sometime around September. And then they start filling it up gradually shortly after January. But yeah, so far my opinion on these tires is that they seem to do okay in the wet stuff. Other than what I was talking about in my last video, how they, because of the shape of the lugs going straight across the tire. If you hit any kind of angle or slope on a wet, slimy rock, they just slide out to the side. But they do get some pretty good forward bite, and they do behave a little bit like the Proline Crawler TAs, as in you can sit there and be spinning the tire and not going anywhere, and then all of a sudden they'll just bite. And we're talking about wet, slippery rocks here. So I've kind of noticed that with them. That's kind of the same behavior that the Proline Crawler TAs give me. They'll hit a wet rock and they'll sit there and spin and spin and spin, and all of a sudden they'll just grab traction and yoink you right up and out of it. So I'm kind of liking these tires. I'm gonna run them on different terrains. I found a nice little cliff spot that I can go climb, but it's got a lot of moss on the rocks. But it's a big old cliff, not a cliff, but you know, a big mass of rock, basically, the size of several houses. So there should be all kinds of lines on it, but it's covered with moss. Don't know how well these tires will do on the moss. I know the Duratrax Showdowns would do really good on it. I bet you the RC Four-Wheel Drive or the Proline Pro X's would do really good on moss. Let's see how these do. I'll let the vid run here. Here in a minute or two, we're gonna I'm gonna go to the other part of this beach about 100 yards down the way, and there's a little creek that's dumping into the lake, and we're gonna kind of crawl up the edge of this creek. This is one of those spots that look like I could get right up through here, but there's such a hole on the bottom side of those rocks that my tire kept getting locked into it. And I'm wondering if maybe my suspension's either a little bit too soft in the rear, or maybe I should get away from 90mm shocks. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe I should put some, because this rig uses rubber bands to suck the shocks up. I was thinking about doubling up the rubber bands on it. I guess it's called droop or whatever. Yeah, my rear end's really loose, really soft. Here we go. Here's the creek spot where so I'll get another vid out of this spot right here. I cut this vid off about halfway through this. It was a pretty cool little ending to the vid here. Crawl in this little spot. You get to see how slick these rocks are. When I was here back in January, the lake was about another 100 yards of land that the lake had dropped. So I could have gone out another 100 yards before I hit water back in January, December and January. Just watch these tires here for a second. You'll notice some spots where they'll just spin and they'll suddenly grab. I think that's just cool. You're just spinning. Spinning. I don't think I have to burst the throttle here. And it just grabbed. Also, pay attention to these GRC axles with the high clearance knuckles. I'm always amazed by how they just clearance little tips of rocks right up there next to the knuckle. Like here's a shot right here where that knuckle's not hitting that rock. Well, it probably is now, but I mean, it's cleared. To where if it was the stock knuckles, that thing would have been dragging all over that rock. I see that a lot in my videos where it's actually clearancing a tip of a rock where the stock knuckle would have grabbed me. So here the tires are again, spinning, and then they just grab. There it went. That's the same behavior I get out of the Proline Crawler TAs. That's why I like them so much on wet rock. So far these are turning out to be pretty good tires for these wet conditions. It's just the way the treads are lined up straight across the tire that you have a higher chance of on a rock with a slight angle for it to just drop to the side off that on that angle, kind of like a sideways slide. They're running these with the stock foams. I would imagine if you got some anti-foams or something in these, it might actually improve the performance of them quite a bit. They do have a little bit of squish, but I would like just a little bit more. I like that squish and then hit that firmness. My driver's side rear is hung up on that rock, so. Well, this rock that I'm about ready to hit right here, it's just slimy. I couldn't even stand on that if I wanted to, so I didn't expect this thing to be able to climb that. I don't know if any tire would grab onto this. If I tried to stand on that, I'd end up on my ass. Very doable climb if it was dry, but not the way it is right now. It's slicker than a snot sandwich. Alright, I'm going to take time to remind you, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment. That's the root of a massive stump right there. Alright, thank you for watching. RC for life, and peace out. Stay tuned for the next one in this area.